Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Prairie Banana here. I'm over on PulseChain, the cryptocurrency network L1, going into its inaugural bull run. 2027 bull runs looking like. And we're going to be talking about pTGC and UFO, which are the index tokens that everyone on PulseChain should hold. What's an index token? It is a token that essentially is comprised of many other tokens. How does that work? Well, it's bonded through these other assets through what is called liquidity. So we have thick liquidity with the core assets, the Richard Heart core assets. Richard Heart is the man that forked Ethereum and built PulseChain. And he has four assets that we call them the cores: Hex, Pulse, PulseX, and Ink. pTGC and UFO, the two index tokens that we'll be talking about, are an index of those four core assets and others. And when those core assets run, meaning go up in price, move, they will drag pTGC up. But what we have been discovering over the past year is that pTGC and UFO are actually doing better than those tokens. I've got the intel, guys. I've got the data. It's all on chain. You can see it. How about we go take a look in a few minutes? So we're just going to let people come in. You see, I've got my uniform on. I'll wear the UFO one next time. Yeah, I should be wearing it by next time. Okay. So yeah, if you came across this and you're new, we kind of just jibber jabber for a little bit, and then we'll get into the guts of the presentation. I am going to be creating some content for my channel that will be a lot more condensed than this 1.5 hour, 2 hour thing that my community, you guys, are so kind to join me for. So what we normally do is, like, if you guys have any news, if you have any intel on anything, drop it in the chat. You can PM it to me too. But if it's public and I can talk about it, drop it in the chat, and we'll do that. We'll talk about what's happening. Like, when is this market gonna move, man? It's I'm tired. I need some, like, market movement would help everybody's disposition, in my opinion. But I am going to tell you that from my perspective, knowing where we are, hey Zen, good to see you. I was just talking to Zen this afternoon about this. From my perspective, where we are in the cycle, and nothing having happened for many months, has allowed us time to optimize strategies and put things in place. And it's given me more than enough time to create content for the Grays, which I have not done. Where does the time go? That's what I'm wondering. Like, I know I'm here for like 6-7 hours a day. Like, how can you be at your desk 6 or 7 hours a day, not have a stinking list of videos for everybody to do by now? Yes. No excuse. But there's so much to do, guys. And I think a lot about life. I think life has a lot to do with saying no. Like, no, I'm not doing TikTok no more. I can't. I would rather be an expert at YouTube than mediocre at YouTube and TikTok, because that's where I was headed. So I was like, the guy in this shirt needs to focus on YouTube, because that is where retail is going to find us. That's where they're going to find the Grays. Everybody on Twitter already has positions in crypto. And yes, we want them over into pTGC, and we are working on that avenue also. But the guy in this shirt, that can't be his focus. It has to be YouTube. So, like, we're going to be doing some things, guys. I've been studying YouTube like how to optimize your channel, get your content out to more people. Like the title for this video is horrible. Like, let's see, what's it called? pTGC and UFO Master Class. You think anybody on YouTube seeing that is going to be inclined at all to click on that thumbnail? No. Work and learn, right? Get to work. You'll learn as you go. So I learned. And the same goes for our spaces. pTGC and UFO community broadcast. Hello. Everybody in the Grays community gets the tweet from all the accounts. They don't need to see that. What we need to do is work on something that's appealing to people that are looking for a way to exit the rat race. They're looking for cash flow. They're looking for a place to store their value that cash flows. They're looking for something to speculate on in crypto that is not a meme coin. Okay, pTGC and UFO, they're definitely memeable. You could even call them meme coins, but not everybody coming into crypto is going to be looking for meme coins. These tokens are more utility than they are meme. Good afternoon, Josh T. It's good to see you. John May, of course, it's good to see you. UFO community, smack that like button. Smack that. Yes, smack. Sorry. Does your brain ever skip a beat like mine does sometimes? It's good to see you, Zen. As always, good day, warriors. Manitokish. Wait a second. Manitokish. Just complicated, man. Mixed mix. I don't think I've seen you in a while. From any perspective, yeah, any perspective is insightful. Yes, bring it. Especially consistency. Yes, we like consistency. Anything worth doing is worth doing regularly. Think Thanksgiving. Once a year. We need to do that once a year at a minimum. Hello, wannabe. Just waiting for ETH to finally take off. Yes. Well, John, I think it's more than that. I think it's Bitcoin. Ooh, here's some intel. This is, I should confirm with my buddy. If you guys will bear with me, I wanted to do this earlier today, but it had slipped my mind. Let me reach out to a buddy real quick on Telegram and see. Just give me a second, guys. Does BTC need to end the week? In quotes above. What was it? 108, 108.3 for the month. Okay. So maybe he'll get back, but he's pretty good. Hey, extra PulseX. Hey guys, go follow this guy on, the platform we're all on right now. YouTube. Extra PulseX. Drop your handle in the chat, please. I know other things have happened, but all I care about is ETH going up. Yeah. But let's be big boys and face it. We're waiting on Bitcoin. I think we're waiting on Bitcoin. And somebody else, tell me what else we might be waiting on, like outside of Bitcoin. What could it be? Gold? I think gold already topped out. So now it's time for Bitcoin or something like that. Because ETH got to go up, Pulse goes up, and then we'll see. Yeah, you got it right there. That's the order. But it's outside of that, it's Bitcoin, and then it would be the stock market. But I think there are other factors in there too. This is a weird cycle, guys. It's just a weird one. Like, have you seen those charts? They show the 2017 cycle, the 2021 cycle, and now the 2025 cycle. You're like, cross out 25 and put in 2026. And even then, we don't know. Extra PulseX on YouTube. Guys, follow Extra PulseX. He is going to be another trumpet for the Grays currencies. So teamwork makes the dream work. So Go participate in all of his videos. Manipulation at its finest. I think you might have something. You might be onto something right there. Market manipulation. I've seen it, or I can't say that I actually have seen it like myself, but I've seen the intel on it. The market manipulation. We don't need to go into that. Okay, what can we look at over here? I got to share a screen. That's what we got to do. Got to share a screen. Okay, if you're brand new to pTGC and UFO and you're ready and you need the what you're here for the master class, I want to know. I want to know. So put a 1 in the chat because I will steer things differently. And anybody in here watching right now will be happy for me to leave the 99 to leave the 27, go after that 1. Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah. Oh, good one. All right, I'm going to share my screen. You cracked me up, dude. You're coming clearly. I'm sure you're very proud of yourself. Hopefully you ain't joking. I mean, hopefully we're joking. Okay, let's have a look at this chart over here. And let's have a look at Bitcoin. I have not even looked at it today. All right, John, what do you have to say? Bro, that liquidation, that's manipulation. We've been seeing it all the time. That's the exchanges stealing our money and the SEC probably getting paid too with it. Just saying. Yeah, that you're talking about that big drawdown we had. Drawdown. Yeah, there was a stinking, it was a liquidation. The $40 billion liquidation, whatever it was, a few weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, I think. Yeah, man, that was a thing. And yes, it was timed. It was timed to what? A tweet, and what happened like 2 minutes before that tweet? Yeah, sold some Bitcoin. Tweet goes out, Bitcoin plummets, probably bought the bottom. Yeah, whatever it was a lot. It was a big deal. And Gray's currencies holders, all the hodlers over here on PulseChain, unaffected. And it's, if you guys didn't notice, Richard Hart, when he was used to stream, hopefully it picks it back up. How's my audio, guys? Is it sounding better these days? I think it's better because I changed my settings. But Richard Hart talked about building a walled garden over here with PulseChain, PulseX, Inc, X, and maybe other stuff. And when that big drawdown happened, all the tokens, all the exchange tokens, they just plummeted, right? What happened with PulseChain? A little dip. I mean, that's kind of what I saw, and that is definitely what I heard because wasn't unique to me. I heard that from someone. Audio sounds good. Cool. Sorry, I'm reading the chat. Yeah, that was a thing. But we have a walled garden over here in PulseChain, and the evidence of it, the benefit of being in this walled garden, was seen on whatever date that was. That was October 11th, wasn't it? That was on the 11th. So we have September 11th, October 11th, something about those 11s. I don't know. Could be probably nothing, right? Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Ooh, we're at 109.99. How about I share this with you? Sounds like a good idea. So Bitcoin is, like I said, 109.99. And it needs to close, pretty sure it needs to close the day at 108.3 for something to do with the 52-week AMA or something like that. And yes, I'm not a TA guy yet. I mean, maybe I will be one day, but I am not yet. And this is the weekly, by the way. Let's go to the daily. Let's see. It would have to come down. What did I say? 108.3. It would have to come all the way down to here, guys. All the way down to here. Guess what? That's probably not happening. So I think we're going to be fine. As far as that, as far as Bitcoin, people say, well, if it doesn't close, here, then we got to be concerned or sell everything or whatever. But if it closes above, then it's going to be, smooth sailing. Well, who knows? Anything happens. This is crypto, and anything can happen. But I know that the Grace Currencies holders are sitting pretty. Why? Because we're just collecting day in and day out. What's the volume today? Let's have a look at it. It was 84,180 yesterday. Let's see what it is today. This gives us the 24-hour volume. 1 second. I bet it's down. Yeah, 51,000. Let's have a look at UFO, and that was pTGC. UFO is definitely going to be, well, wait a second. Did you guys see the big buys coming in this morning? Somebody was buying like $5,600 worth or something like that. So that's $5,000 of volume. It could be about the same. Let's see. Let's have a look. It was 60 yesterday, 43 today. Okay. So we have $15,000 of volume on the UFO WPLS pair and half of that on the PulseX pair. And then, of course, PDI pair. Wow, that's interesting. $5,500 on PDI, the PDI pair. And that, of course, that LP is user provided. I don't know why I said that. Probably out of habit. And then on pTGC, most of the volume is on that WPLS pair, and then PulseX again, and then Hex. And PDI is a paltry $1,500 of volume. So there you have it. There's the volume. Let me see if I heard anything back. Nothing yet. I'm pretty sure it was 108.3 on the weekly. We'll see if my buddy gets back to me. So, excuse me. Sorry, guys. I tried to mute and it was too late. All right. Are there no more smart Alex? Does anybody need me to do the full blown? We'll do it. I just want to know. Cause like people like Crypto 7 jumped in. He's jumped in here a couple of times. I'm like, oh man, we're going to, he has an audience, and even if you're here, C7, I'm just going to talking plain, man. You got an audience. I want you to know about the Grays. I want you to be excited about them. So you tell your audience, because everybody on PulseChain needs to have exposure. It's not financial advice, and I'm not going to tell. It's really not right that everybody. Well, okay, everybody needs to hear about it and make their own decision about what to do with the Grays. Good day, Shaka Vibes. I sent you a message just a few minutes ago. No rush. And I'm just a curiosity seeker asking for a friend. And yes, happy Sunday. Oh, it is a happy Sunday, guys. It's like sunny out and it's warm. I mean, it's 55 degrees. 55 degrees, slightly breezy. It feels like a spring day to me where I live. I mean, it's just like, oh, this is so nice, man. And this stinking time change, I'm ready for it to mess me up, but it hasn't yet. If you guys haven't fixed your clocks, you're like 12 hours behind. All right. What should we talk about, guys? How about we talk about pTGC? How are we doing on ratio? I haven't looked at the ratio yet today. We were holding like about 6-1. Remember, August 2024, we can't just say last year anymore. Well, not really. Time is flying, guys. Our day is coming. And not that I can feel it, but like I opened up spaces, I think it was last Monday night, cold fall day here in the mountains. It's like a warm fall day here in the mountains, 55 degrees. Hunting season started a week ago. And it's really not uncommon for it to be, kind of warm during the first part of hunting season. But yeah, it's super nice. I love the transition seasons. I do. I do not like winter. I like spring and I like fall. where was I? Where was my mind? Ratios. So last year, 2024, pTGC finally got its way up to 1-to-1 with Pulse. And then we've been sitting at 6 to, we've been as high as 22-to-1, but then we got down to about 6-to-1. Let's see where we are. I haven't even looked at Pulse today. You know, I do not keep an eye on the Pulse price. I look for green and red, and that's it. I do look at pTGC a little bit, UFO a little less. The ratios, yeah, I look at both. So let's have a look together and see where pTGC is today. Like I said, it's been in the 6s, and I think that's, I have to guess that's where we are today, maybe a little less, which always makes me kind of sad. It's 55? What? We live in the same town. I bet your town has more than 2 traffic lights, though. I literally, guys, I live in a 2 traffic light town. You can go all the way around for 60 miles. 60 miles all the way around, and there aren't even 10,000 people. It's all farmers, ranchers, and I live I live outside of town several miles, but my office where I am right now is not downtown, but it's right on the main strip. That's why you see the flashing light all the time. It's because that's the main street right there, and the car's lights, reflections come off and right through my window. I got the blinds closed right now. But yeah, I am in a very, very, very remote, well, maybe take off one very remote area. Oh, West Virginia. I got it. I know pTGC on discount, but UFO is insanely cheap. That's a good point, Extra Pulse X. Somebody got, if I remember right, and maybe you can correct me, Shaka Vibes, somebody got a dolphin position today of UFO. Somebody bought a dolphin position in pTGC yesterday, live on stream. And he bragged about it too. It's worth bragging about. He's like, just got myself a dolphin position, 33 million tokens. pTGC, which is actually a little bit more than a dolphin position, because a dolphin position at the circulating supply is 29 million. So he got himself an even 33 million, I guess, dolphin position in pTGC. And then he was asking about UFO, and then he disappeared. He probably had things to do. Maybe he'll come back. But dolphin, I mean, UFO, do not discount, do not underestimate the UFO. I think it's going to surprise. Correct me if I'm wrong. So just don't be afraid to correct me, guys, in the chat. I'm just a guy that puts a shirt on every day, just like you. And we all have different strengths, and some of us have lots of weaknesses. So, but correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me like whenever we get a little uptick in pTGC, you almost see like more life coming out of UFO than pTGC. Does that sound right? Does that sound true to anybody, or am I totally off? I did not get that from any evidence on chain. That's just a sentiment that I expressed to somebody last week because it just came out of my head. I was like, wow. And now I'm rethinking it, you know? So UFO is, of the 2 tokens in this ecosystem, it was launched after pTGC. pTGC saw a good run up. pTGC saw PulseChain go above SAC price for 2 months. Talked about it in Spaces yesterday. UFO has not seen that. UFO came out after that. So what would the ratio between pTGC and UFO be now if UFO had launched with pTGC? There's a question. You need some glasses then. Oh, here we go. All right. I gotta back up. You guys having some good conversation. You're about 3? You're about 3 what? UFO is insanely cheap. Price isn't the thing you measure in long term. Bingo. Crypto. It's unit accumulation of things you have convictions in past cheating. 1000%. That's what I was preaching the whole bear market. Like, forget about the price, guys. Accumulate tokens. Don't worry about the price. Get them tokens, because that's what's going to matter at the top of the cycle. How many do you got? How many Bitcoin do you got? It's because it didn't include I didn't accumulate any. I was all worried about the price. Okay, did you get that from DJ Khaled? Because you were that comment sounds exactly like something I got from DJ Khaled. He's always telling his crowd, don't look at the price, look at the value. You know, it's the common people, if I can put it that way. Maybe that sounds bad, that look at the price. You know, like looking at Bitcoin, $111,000. Yeah, but what's the value? If it's worth $1 million, and it's probably worth $1 million, it's probably worth more than $1 million bucks, then you might want to get you some. UFO. What is the value of UFO? Boy, it's worth what? It's worth a lot more than what we're paying for a dolphin position right now, in my estimation. Absolutely. We're going to be looking back. I think there was a time when you could get a shark position of pTGC for about $30, if I remember correctly. Somebody want to look it up? And we're going to be looking back at this time right now when we can get a dolphin position to pTGC for $6,000, like that gentleman yesterday, or a dolphin position in UFO for probably $1,500. $1,500 for a dolphin position right now. Thereabouts. Yes, I wear a shirt. League positions matter, especially in these two coins. Yes. What's a dolphin position for a UFO? Oh, I was just thinking that. I was just wondering that. Okay. I was just like, I have the positions in my mind for pTGC, but not for UFO. So let's do it. The supply of UFO is 890 billion, or is it 900 billion? Let's go look. Let's do it together, class. And then we can learn this together. Hold on. Okay. I'm making more slides too. We're going to stream. I'm going to get the data together for the slides. There it is, 914. It's 914 billion, guys. Tokens for UFO. So 904. So a shark would be 90. Oh man, a shark could be 914 million. A dolphin would be 91.4. 91.4 million is a dolphin position in UFO. And let's see how much that costs right now. It's going to be on the cheapsy side. 90, what did I say? 90, 90.4? I'm trying to do numbers and stream at the same time. 91.4 million. 91,400. I think that's it. Yeah, $1,350. There we go. There you go. Perfect, John. You nailed it. $1,350. Oh, extra PulseX beat us to it. 3 dolphins of pTGC. That'll be something one day. There's only like 360 dolphin positions of pTGC left in the pool. Dead right, extra, especially in deflationary assets. Yeah. Deflationary. Like they don't inflate. Actually got the league position theory from RH. Made so much sense. That's where I got it too. I learned about that when I came into Hex. Thank you, extra. Yep. All right, what else we got? Chat. We got a chatty chat today. Yeah, I had sold, but I'm going to skip past some of this stuff. $1,346 for a dolphin in UFO. Yeah, guys. So let's get back to the ratio. I do not track the ratio in UFO like I do with pTGC. And I know that's like negligent of me. I can only take so much at one time. I can only learn so much. Like my capacity to learn, my speed of learning is very slow. But I do learn. But here we are at 0.49. That's pretty easy to remember. That's a half. So it costs 2 PLS. Wait a second. 2 PLS. If that makes does that make sense, guys? I think it costs 2 PLS per UFO. No, half of a PLS. There you go. So it would cost, half of a PLS per UFO. That's on the monthly. Doesn't change for the daily. I just like to see that green candle down there. Let's look at pTGC. Yeah, look at that, man. Look at. We're holding that 6 to whatever. We're holding it, guys. 6 to. Now we did dip down a little bit. Let's see, daily. Last week, I believe. Yeah, we went down to like 5.6. But for 3 days now, we've been trending up against Pulse. That's wonderful. I like trending up against Pulse. I don't hold a bag of Pulse, guys. I don't hold a bag of PulseX. I got some in LP. I've got some Pulse in LP too. I don't think I have very much. I should go check. But I don't hold a big bag of Pulse, Hex, PulseX, Inc. I have all of those in LPs with UFO, but I don't hold bags of them. Does any of you want to guess why I don't hold big bags of the core assets? If you're quick on the keyboard, you can beat me to it. But I think you guys all know why I don't hold big old bags of the core assets. All right, I'll just tell you, because I was going to tell you anyhow. The reason I don't is because pTGC and UFO have been outperforming them. Why would I hold an asset that has been outperformed by another asset unless that other asset had not been proven with perfect and flawless operation and a thriving community and all the check boxes that have been checked by the Grays? pTGC and UFO, flawless operation for over 2 years. Well, not UFO, pTGC. So why would I hold big old bags of those assets when I can just hold the assets that are a claim check on those assets? Let's have a look. First, I want to explain the ratios as best I can. Let me see. I got to see this. Got a little bag of all the cores just in pTGC and its ecosystem. Yeah, man. Right there. Right there, baby. Yes. You want to know? You want to know what would be an interesting experiment? To see how many of those core assets you have. That would be an interesting experiment. If you could pop in your value, your token value into a spreadsheet, and it would eliminate all the other assets that we're bonded with, and it'll say, hey, you effectively hold X number of hex. You could do it on your own. You could just ballpark it. But yeah, I guess I actually own quite a bit of hex and Pulse and PulseX. John May, that was a humdinger of a comment, man. I appreciate that because I had not really thought it through that far. Good stuff, dude. The only core, now this is extra PulseX. The only core I consider as untouchable is PulseX, of course. It's probably not just you, though. Yeah, of course. Extra PulseX. That's because of your name. You have to have extra PulseX, otherwise you'd be going back on your personal ticker symbol. And your hex is all staked. Mine too. Back in 2021 when I paid way too much for it. Oh man, hindsight is 2020. It's also painful. Very painful. Oh yeah. I've been unstaking hex on PulseChain. I got forked over copies and I'm like, it's too expensive over on Ethereum. It's not even worth it. Thank God we have copies over on PulseChain. Yeah, I've been unstaking hex for a couple of years now. And it ain't worth much. But it's going to be. It's going to be. I do believe. Do you think Richard Hart? Well, I need to take a sip. Hold on. Don't you think Richard Hart is going to want to brag about another 10,000x? I do. Do you think it might be on Hex? I do. Do you think it might be on PulseX extra? I think it could be. Do you think it might be on Pulse? Sure. I'd prefer Pulse. I'll take any of them though, but I don't know. Does it matter? I mean, does it matter which one? I would say for everything on PulseChain, Pulse would be the most optimal if we did a 10,000x on Pulse. 10,000x on Hex would be great. Absolutely. But not everybody holds X. But yeah, I think Pulse would drag everything up. And then everything we're bonded to would be doing so much volume. It would be amazing. That's why I love the liquidity pTGC has with Hex. Yeah, because of that potential for a 10,000x, right? Hex versus pTGC from now will be a battle for the ages. You're not right. You're not right. You're not kidding. You're absolutely right, man. But have you picked up the sentiment? I don't know what your sentiment is on the two assets, but you'll pick up a sentiment from the Prairie Banana that I figured this out on my own, guys. I figured it out on my own. I have not yet illustrated it to where I can make it public, but can I just tell you? Okay, this is your fault, NJ Dub. You brought it up. Okay. I did an experiment. I was like, all right, if I if I staked Hex for a year and then I staked pTGC for a year, I could go find it in my spreadsheets and we can look at it all, but I'm not going to do that. There's a calculator that you can use for Hex to estimate what your earnings would be after a year, whatever. Okay. And then, of course, we can forecast look into what the earnings would be based on a certain volume amount. Like I put in $1 million of volume, whatever. I tried to keep it modest. Do you know that? And I'm not telling you facts and figures. I'm going to tell you, well, my opinion was, yeah, pTGC blew the doors off of Hex. Not only in APY, but in access to liquidity, because you can access your tokens at any time. You can end your stake at any time. You can access your yield at any time. Okay, I love Hex. I love Richard Hart. I love Hex as a product. Blown away. When I discovered it, I was like, oh yeah, man, this is good stuff. Real DeFi, and it's next level. Absolutely is. But the fact of the matter is, there's a new contender on the block, and it's called pTGC. And when I got done, you can ask Mando, because he and I were talking about this. He's about the only one. Well, there's a couple other guys. I DM'd it too. I was so blown away, guys, because I mean, Hex is it, man, right? Hex is it. I'm not knocking Hex. I'm just saying I had to go take a walk, man. I stepped out of this office and I walked to the neighborhood and back. I was like, what? You mean this little stinking token that come out of nowhere is blowing the doors off of the big boy? Well, in theory, we got to have that $1 million in volume. You know, that is a requirement. I want to hear what you had to say about PulseX. PulseX, just the safest play of the cores, in my opinion. Liquidity structure anchors prices of all cores in a much better fashion. Wish I would have bought more pTGC and locked it all up last year. Kicking myself for not acting out of logic. Okay. pTGC likely does a minimum of 2x anything Hex does, in my opinion. Yeah. Yeah, if your experiment was during earlier this year when OA staked and decreased the yield, then that's not surprising. However, it was before that, and then I did it again afterwards. I like redid the experiment after I did it first in December. I remember that. Pretty sure it was about December. And then I repeated it about 3 months ago. And when I repeated it, I wasn't even thinking about that OA having staked a bunch, but I was like, oh, this is going to be insightful. And sure enough, it's still or whatever. They're both great products. Okay. And not everybody's going to sell their Hex and come over and buy pTGC. We need people to buy Hex. pTGC people are going to buy Hex, whatever. They're both great products. Go buy them. I hold them. All right. So let's look at ratios, and then we gotta get on with the presentation. And that's when most of you guys unplug. So if there's anything you want me to hit before we hit go on the presentation, let me know. Okay. So we're going to look at the chart here. I want you guys to understand, and most of you guys in here do already, ratios in crypto. And you probably understand them better than I do. But they're very important. Like we were just talking about, like I don't hold bags of core assets. I do, but I'm not leaning into, like, if I was to, like, if somebody is like, okay, I want to put in some assets. I want to put in some fiat into cryptocurrency. What do I buy? pTGC, because they're in ratio excelling against the core assets. And let me show that to you. Let me show it to you. And we got to look at it. We'll look at pTGC, WPLS. Let's go ahead and look at the monthly. If in doubt, just click, right? Okay. Here is pTGC in the monthly in WPLS. Now you have USD. It's up in USD also. Let's put this on the monthly and you can see that. It's up in USD. Let's see how much is up in USD from the second month. 14,000%. In WPLS, since the second month, not 14,000%, but 27,000%. So it's up more against Pulse than it is up in USD. What that means is that PulseChain has been outperformed by pTGC. And I don't mean that unkindly. I just don't know of another way to say it. In the time that PulseChain has been, let's look at PulseChain on the monthly in USD. In the time that PulseChain, it's a terrible looking chart. I love PulseChain. In the time that PulseChain has since the second month gone down 72%, 71%. pTGC has gone up against PulseChain. What did I say? 28,000%. Man, I've never really looked at PulseChain like that. That's really bad. That's awful. So bad. Yeah, man. This little chart here, I mean, this little token here, this PLS, okay, it's not little. A layer one blockchain is going to surprise a lot of people. I'm fully confident it can surprise the people that are here that have been waiting for this. Can be like, wow, because we've been waiting so long, it's gonna surprise us. I think. I think many of you guys agree with me. So anyhow, the point is, if you had held Pulse PLS, the ticker, the token PLS last year at about this time, instead of pTGC, you would have been diluted by a 6x roughly. But if you'd flipped your Pulse instead at this time last year into pTGC, you would be up 6x because pTGC is up 6x against Pulse roughly since this time last year. And we have been as high as 22x against Pulse. And you're crazy if you don't think we're going back to 22x or 22 Pulse to 1 pTGC and more. You're already surprised. What, at the negative performance, John? That's what I'm surprised at. And it's going to be a 2 surprise cycle, guys. How low can you go and how high we went? All right, guys. So that's ratios, and they're very important in crypto. Very important. Like, how many pulls can I get per dollar? How many pTGC? Okay, how many pulls can I get per dollar? And then how much? Where is it going? I lost the thought. It's gone. It is so hard to shill PulseChain unless they buy into Richard as the main entity to bet on. No. Okay. Yeah. I see where you're coming from. Yeah. That could help. Like, if this is what I would do. Like, if they were not impressed with PulseChain, then be like, Richard. But if they're interested in PulseChain, you don't even got to mention Richard. You know, to be honest, I had a friend that was going to buy some Hex back in the day, but he made the mistake of looking up Richard. Guess what? He don't hold any Hex. He's gonna be so upset. He's gonna be kicking himself. I told him to. He's gonna be upset. But you can't. I went and told him Richard's not a scammer. Wouldn't listen. Just one of those guys. He was already skeptical about crypto, so it didn't help that he came across Richard's the scammer stuff. And Richard ain't a scammer. The thing of it is, he's so good at what he does, he gets called a scammer because he is so good. That's why. From $30 to what I have now, yes, I'm very surprised. Still way up. Okay, John, are you one of the guys that told me you guys are picking up shark positions for $30? Tell me. I'm in RH Maxi, but not everyone can see things how I do. That's why my onboards like pTGC and UFO more. Yeah, different founder. Sure. All right. Tired. Tired. I was feeling rested. I was feeling rested earlier today. But I tell you what's going to overcome that feeling of tiredness is green candles. How we doing? Bitcoin's over 110,000 right now. So it's looking good. Richard Hart is the GOAT. He's the GOAT of crypto, and the rest of the world is about to discover, if they haven't yet, who the GOAT in crypto is. It's Richard. I can't wait till he streams. It's gonna be so good. He'll be on Twitter. He's like, should I stream today? Like, you should have streamed 4 years ago, Richard. Richard. Such a funny name, Richard. We just call him Richard. You know, he's like, I know that he's worth tens of billions of dollars. He claimed to have, was it 30,000 or 300,000 Bitcoin? Well, do the math. People are like, well, we think he's a billionaire. He said, and if it's true, he said he has 30,000 Bitcoin. I think it might be 300. I think it's probably 30,000. And at the time, that was like $30 billion. That's only his Bitcoin. Of course, he's a billionaire. And here we are. We call him Richard. He should be like, Mr. Hart. Yes, sir. No, that's just kind of how I'm. That's kind of how I am. I have like respect to persons and military background. All right. So let's start with show off out there on the road. He has trillions, I bet. I don't trillions. You know, a trillion is 1,000 billion. He'd have to have 1,000 billion. If it has trillions, it'd be like 2,000 billion. That's a lot of billions. You know what I think he might be? It's a whale on every chain. I wonder. There's so much mystery about Richard Hart, which is one of the reasons that people find him so attractive, that we're all attracted to him, is the mystery behind this man, right? Oh yeah, man. You always want to keep a little bit of mystery in your language and in who you are, where you live. Keeps people curious, you know, and it helps draw their attention to you if that's what you want. If he's a 100 billionaire, I wouldn't be shocked. Yeah. And guess what he's going to be at the top of the cycle? I've thought this for years, man. The world's first trillionaire. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, we had our honorable mention of Richard. Let's move on to talk about the grays. Let's talk about pTGC and UFO. It's time. We're at 51 minutes in. I've already like fizzled out the pop. You know, when you open a pop and after a while it fizzles out. Well, most of the fizzle has gone out of the Prairie Banana pop. He's going to have to open up another pop or something. You know, we're going to talk about pTGC and UFO. We talk about pTGC first, and then we go into UFO. pTGC takes the longest because it is the most dynamic of the two, but do not underestimate UFO. Please do not. I wish I could ignore the chat. No, you guys have fun. Ignore me, okay? Part of being on live stream is just having fun. All right. So we're going to talk about, I'm just going to go through my list. I got my list, guys. And if you're brand new to pTGC and UFO and you waited this long, man, salute. Like I said, I'll be working on a playlist. Oh, guess what, guys? I'm gonna be working on something for if you were on Spaces yesterday, you heard Gary talk about Gary, I remember his last name. I love that guy because he comes in and he talks truth, and he wants to see us become successful. So he's like, hey guys, you're being stupid over here. Why don't you go and be smart over here? Thank you, Gary. And so he pulled one of those on us yesterday, and I appreciated it, man. So what we're going to do, the goal for tomorrow is to produce a short video that we can drop into the Jumbotron when we're streaming, that when we have tourists coming by, and they do come by into our spaces, tourists are people that are just kicking the tires of pTGC and UFO or PulseChain, we can say, Jumbotron, there's a video in the Jumbotron if you want to learn just a little about what these tokens are. And then at the end of that video, there's going to be one of those end screens. Yeah, I've been studying crypto, YouTube. There'll be an end screen that they can click on to find out how to get their position, you know, how to swap in out of their whatever into pTGC or UFO. So yeah, Gary, if you're watching, and I know he probably ain't, thank you for the idea. We're going to do it. We are going to take action. And if there's no video in the Jumbotron tomorrow evening on Spaces, it's because Prairie Banana failed somehow. But it's my intention tomorrow to get something out, and it doesn't need to be perfect. That's what I always got to remind myself. It does not need to be perfect. It needs to be done. It needs to be done. Only the Rothschilds have trillions. Dude, I don't think anybody in the world has a trillion yet. No. You Google it. That's how I know it's true. I Googled it. I don't even think the Saudis have a trillion. Okay. PTDC and we already talked about ratios. PTDC and UFO are an index token of the best assets on the chain. So what's an index token? It's one token that represents a bunch. Let's go look at Secreto Bank again real quick, and we can lay eyes on what PTDC is an index of. PTDC is an index of all of these assets right here. You see these? The quote token, all those. It's an index of all those. And its liquidity with WPLS right now is $1.2 million. That's wonderful. Its smallest LP pool on this list is Bria, which is a meme coin. By the way, guys, do you think meme coins are going to be around much longer? Do you think meme coins are going to be around like much longer? I think they're going to be around forever. Don't take me wrong. But I mean, as far as a strong narrative, I don't think so. I think they're gonna have their day where they're not around so much. So what's the market going to be looking for? Perhaps they'll be looking for a place to store their value like PTDC and UFO. Perhaps they'll be looking for a place to store their value that will pay them passively, but like PTGC and UFO do. Perhaps they'll be looking for utility like PTDC and UFO are. So an index, Charles Schwab, talking about old money here. Charles Schwab said the goal of index investing is to own the entire market. How about owning the entire PulseChain market? Or a representative slice of it at the lowest possible cost. Yeah, get your squid bag, get your dolphin, get your shark bag of PTDC, and you will therefore have your representative slice of the best of PulseChain. Index tokens, PTDC and UFO. By the way, PTDC is an index of UFO. It's an index of all these tokens plus UFO. UFO is an index of all these tokens plus PTDC. So if you can only get one, hey man, it's bonded with the other one. It's an index of it. All right. What is the difference between Ooh, I gotta get my slides up. Prairie Banana. Get your act together now. Whoop. How about that, man? That's the first slide we should have started with. Look at the performance of PTDC and UFO versus those core assets, the ones down below. And like I said, we're going to get this updated once we are in all-time high territory. I will get this updated. That's a beautiful, let me remove this real quick. That's a beautiful chart. Excuse me. Now here's the index, PTDC and UFO, and there's all the assets that we're bonded with. You just saw that in Secreto Bank. Oh, there's a question in the chat. What's the difference between a great alien and prairie banana? The skin suit. What's that gray alien, prairie banana? This is the skin suit. Yeah, okay. Funny one, John. John, whenever you come, the chat is like so lively. Every time you come into the chat. You're the man with the family, right? It has a hard time getting onto spaces and such. All right, let's talk about this. The difference between PTGC and UFO. They have different fees. Okay, they're both fee-based tokens. And one fee is less than the other. As you can see. One token has burned LP. The other one, all the LP is provided by the users. And that burned LP, by the way, is important. That means it cannot be rugged. It cannot be accessed. It is burned. It's in a dead address. No one can touch it forever. It's funny talking. Yeah, that's you, huh? Okay, cool. It's funny talking to no coiners. They'll be like, oh yeah, that's just so the other people can take it out of there when nobody's looking. Like, no, you don't understand crypto. They've been around for a different number of months, and somebody needs to update his slide. And different amounts have been burned, and they have different amounts of wallets. And we were just talking about the undervaluedness of UFO? Well, look at the difference in wallets. UFO has less than half the number of wallets of pTGC. Shame for shame. Everybody's going to find out when it's right for them to find out about UFO. Let's have a look at the liquidity. Now so we looked at, those are the fundamental differences. The liquidity, the way the liquidity is added, the fee and all that. And I want to squash a fee FUD. Let's squash some fee FUD right now. Okay. Yes, they're a fee on transaction. You put $1,000 in, say goodbye to at least $50. But are we not in crypto to see X's? Okay, your first 2X makes that $50 25. Okay, that's the prairie banana logic right there. Your first 10X makes that $50 $5. So you wouldn't buy a tax token because of the fee, would you? Come on, big boy. Get over it. And I had to get over it too. But I looked right past, this is me. I looked past the fee and I saw the utility. And I was like, I'm participating. Forget the fee. I am getting exposure to this. And we'll get into that. We'll get into what really spun me up about pTGC. Let's have a look at the utility. pTGC and UFO. They have different, their liquidity is not only fundamentally different, like pTGC's is burnt and UFO's is community provided through RH cores, but UFO also has more LP with RH tickers, as you can see in the gold there. UFO has more, and I don't know whether that has, I've heard that argued a couple different ways, whether that's going to be a huge advantage for our UFO or not. And UFO has more LP total than pTGC. So UFO is positioned for, you've heard of strategies, you've never heard of it. Strategies for success. The UFO is the definition of strategy for success versus pTGC because of its LP. So I'm going to hang my hat. Which one's going to outperform? I would not be surprised if it's UFO. I would not. Okay, we looked at that. We looked at now let's look at where the fees go. Where does it go? The 5%. We're so used to paying taxes and it just goes bye-bye. We don't know where it goes. Well, these fees, we know where it goes. And some of it goes to guys like you and I. And some of those guys we don't care for. So that would be the one negative, is when you buy $50 and you're paying so-and-so $5. Not really $5. Nobody gets $5 out of a $50 transaction in pTGC. That would be a lot. Yeah, huge position. Here's your fees. Here's how it's distributed. 2% to the DAO. That's the decentralized autonomous organization that always does something benevolent, beneficial for the ecosystem. 1% to holders, 1% to stakers. Some of it burns pTGC, and the other 0.5% of it burns pTGC again with PLS in a PLP token. And it raises the price floor. UFO, 3% goes to LP providers, 1% to holders, 1% burns UFO, and 1% burns pTGC. You know what? I really need to figure something out here. Ooh. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I think I just got an idea. Hold on. I got an idea for a chart. I want to chart who makes more, who is making more from month to month, the LP providers or the holders. and I have the data. Who is making more yield? It's probably going to be yield in dollars month to month. Month to month. LP providers or holders. And I have to really spell this out. Otherwise, I can't read it tomorrow. Holders in UFO. Okay. Okay. We'll see if I can build that. We'll see. Because sometimes I get these ideas about half the time. I get these ideas and it doesn't work. I can't do it. But there you go, guys. And 1%, what we love about UFO is it burns pTGC, as you can see in that chart, in that slide. I am excited, guys, to talk to Zen on Friday about the slides, the monthly slides. I love it, dude. I just love it. Slides light me up. Isn't that crazy? All right, one thing you got to understand. Well, the one thing you got to understand about the slides is they're a snapshot of our history, guys. The history of pTGC. We're all here for number go up. But when we don't have numbers going up, it's kind of cool to be able to look back and see where we came from. I love it, guys. It's amazing. We're going deep sea fishing for sure once this market finally takes off. And if World War III ain't going on. Yeah, John, we're going deep sea fishing. John and I have a date. We're going to leave our wives on the shore. Or we might bring them along. Are you bringing kids? Maybe I'll have my kids with me. But we're going deep sea fishing. And if you guys want to come along, you know, we can have a pTGC deep sea fishing party. And where are we going out of, John? We're going out of Los Angeles, San Francisco, Jacksonville. You know, you're here for the tech. Yeah, we're waiting for Fast Abdul to jump in. Fast, are you watching, man? He's gonna jump in and say he's here for the tech. He does that all the time. All right, now one of the things you got to understand is that. Okay, I think we talked about this. No, we didn't. We're going to talk about it. These are fee-based tokens that, I got to tell you what lit me up, which is the AMM bots. I got to put it in my notes. AMM bots is what got me excited about pTGC when I first learned about it. Besides the community was those stinking AMM bots evening out the LP pairs 24/7 without any buys, without any human buys on the pTGC chart. We get volume because the AMM bots are in there buying and selling in and out of these different LPs that we are bonded with, making volume, paying rewards to us, adding to DAO treasury funds, all that. The AMM bots are doing that 24/7 without any pay. We don't pay any taxes on them. They never call in sick. None of that stuff, guys. The AMM bots work for free. They're actually, they're probably employed, paid. Probably the electricity for them is paid for by the validators nodes, the 50,000+ validators, I think is probably how that works. I do not know. But whoever owns those validators is paying for the electricity, right? And I think that's where the bots operate. I don't know how all that works, but yes, somebody's paying for the bots, but it ain't much. And they average out our liquidity pools and pay us rewards. We literally do not, we're one ecosystem that literally does not need any human buyers, but we like it because they make the number go up. And nobody's going to go deep sea fishing by themselves. You want to go with some buddies. Yes, pTGC deep sea fishing tour, probably down towards Florida, the West Coast. Somehow, I think you've got it figured out, John. Totally fine, dude. It's fun. It actually, what happens, guys, I'm pretty sure, is when you light up the comments, the algorithm. I'm a chatty dude, John. When I'm on somebody's stream, I'm just can't shut up, man. I'm like, get this prairie banana out of here. No, I'm helping your algorithm, dude. Hit the like and sub. No, it's all good, man, because you're probably attracting people to the stream. So, by the way, let's see how I found out if I hover my little mouse, we got 15 people on YouTube, 15 on YouTube, 106 on Twitter. That means impressions on Twitter. I need to find out if people are actually watching on Twitter. I don't think so. I think that's impressions, but on YouTube, it is 16 people now are watching on YouTube. I appreciate y'all being here. If you guys ever wonder what I'm laughing at, it's John. He cracks me up whenever he's in my chat. He makes me laugh. So you've got these bots that are arbitraging liquidity pairs 24/7, paying us, paying the fee because they can't get around it. And the more volume there is on the network, the more fees they are going to be paying. You deep sea fish here in San Diego and love it? Brock Mahoney? Yeah, man. I've been deep sea fishing out of San Diego one time. Just one time. I love deep sea fishing, man. I like the kind where when you're on the boat, the deckhands, they hand you your next, you haul the fish up, right? And you hand the pole you go, fish on, and they come over and you hand the pole and they give you another one. You just drop it down. And then they take your fish and put it in your bag or whatever. And all they do is just keep you supplied with fresh poles and bait. It's awesome. Well, maybe we'll go out west then. Well, that was easy. Oh, dude. You're cracking me up, dude. All right. So whenever we have more volume on the network, we're getting paid more. That's how it works. Like, remember when we looked at Secreto Bank and we're like, oh, we got $50,000 in volume today. By the way, we've had $2 million in volume on each of these assets at one time in history, which is last spring. Each of these assets has had a $2 million day, or near 2 million. One was actually over. I'm glad you're laughing too, man. But volume is what we're waiting for. It's where volume is where we make our gains. All right. Now, there is something you need to understand about these assets. And you're like, oh no, I knew there was a trick. It's no trick. It's a fact. It's just something we all know about. What, as let's say, I always have to like rethink. Let's talk about like if you have a consistent level of volume, let's call it $100,000 in volume. $100,000 in volume. Okay. Now, as price goes up on these assets, you're going to earn fewer tokens. Let me start off. At a certain level of volume, you're going to earn a certain amount of dollars in rewards for whatever position you got. Let's say it's $100. You earn $100 in rewards for $100,000 in volume. And that would probably be, I don't know, would that be a whale position? I'm not sure. But as the price goes up, you're still going to earn $100 for that $100,000 in volume, but it's going to be in fewer tokens. If price comes down, you're going to earn more tokens, same value. And I literally have a note in here, my little notebook, because I'm going to illustrate this because I have over a year's worth of data. And now what I can do, it'll be better when price goes up. But what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, we have 14 months of reward history for this experimental wallet that I have. We know how many tokens it has earned. What would those tokens be worth now, right? If you didn't spend those tokens, if you stacked them up from 12, 14 months ago, what are they worth now? See, that's the question. That's that's where it's having a slide like that can cause users to think, if I just don't touch these rewards for a year or 5 years, and then after a year or 5 years, then start taking some profits, it allows those tokens to appreciate in value. And that's why I want to take 20 minutes and build this slide tomorrow. Hopefully I can do it. And then we can, if I can get it built, then we can show it when Zen and I stream on Friday. I think there's be value in an illustration like that. So yeah, I'm excited, man. Guys, hold on to your pTGC. That's all I'm going to say. If you're watching, I think you best hold on to your pTGC. It's all fun and games until you let it go and realize, oh man, if you got to let it go, you better hang on to some. It's not financial advice. That's just buddy advice. All right. So we talked about that. Now we're going to talk about the alien tech. You guys ready for this? We're going to talk about pTGC's alien techs. I hope we're not going into overtime today. We're going into the DApp here in just a second. Okay, good. pTGC's alien tech is the AMM bots that I just talked about a little bit ago. But there's another one, which is the net inflow being greater than the outflow. I should separate some of these slides. I need to redo this slide deck. I will. Just not this week. The alien tech is the AMM bots, and more coming into the system than exiting the system. So what happens is you got 5% fee, 3% is coming into the system. Okay, that's 3. And then let's do it this way, 3, and then 2%. The fingers are all messed up. And then 2% can be extracted from the system. So let's do it this way. 3% comes in, 2% can go out. Do you see where that's a net positive? Okay, let's figure this out. I want you to have full clarity on it. 2% goes to the DAO. 2% of the 5% goes to the DAO, which is always going to do something beneficial for the holders or the ecosystem, both. Okay, it's going to burn tokens or add LP or venture on a marketing campaign to bring more users in, do an incentive program, something like that. 2%. 1% goes to, where's it? 1% burns tokens. 1% burns tokens, which reduces supply, which means numbers go up. The 2% that goes to holders and stakers, that can be extracted. Crypto Shark, it's good to see you today, man. Appreciate you being here. You've been watching this whole time. You're just spying on me, huh? I knew it. Just kidding. So you got a net positive staying in the system. So what does that mean, guys? Who can answer in the chat? When you have 3% coming in and 2% going out. By the way, we got diamond-handed holders over here. So what does that mean? Does anybody care to answer? You guys are really bad about answering questions in the chat, by the way. Maybe Crypto Shark will answer the question. But sometimes you guys may not have access to a keyboard. But I know you all have access to something on your phone. So you ain't getting away with it totally. I'm just giving you guys a hard time because you probably need it. And you can't talk back to me if you... Sorry. I'm just being snarky, having fun. If you don't like the way I stream, go start a channel. Here it is, right here. 3% coming in, 2% going out. Now would be happy. Love for you guys to start a channel. By the way. All right, that is it, man. Now, there's one more thing that I love. Got too fast. That I love about pTGC. More tokens for us. More tokens for us. I don't understand. Give me a clue what you're talking about there, if you don't mind, because I want to know what you're referencing there. Okay, another thing that has really settled in on me recently about pTGC is the DAO. the DAO, the decentralized autonomous organization, because the DAO is powerful. It's like the DAO is almost like, I'm trying to think. He's like that wise old man that's sitting in the back of the classroom or whatever. And you don't hardly know he's there. But then, when the instructor says, "Are there any questions?" He raises his hand, and in the most articulate, wise manner that you can imagine, he makes a statement wrapped in a question. And the whole room is just like, what? That's the DAO. Yeah. At the back of the room, barely noticeable the whole time. And then suddenly, he makes his move. That's the pTGC DAO. By the way, it's got like $300,000 worth of PLS in it right now. For what? What's it doing? Just holding all that PLS. Waiting for a rainy day. It's waiting for its turn to. It's waiting for the instructor to ask a question for it to raise its hand, and in the most articulate, wise manner possible, strike. That's what that 300 grand in PLS is doing, sitting in that DAO wallet. Just like any good investor holds USDC or some kind of stable for the moment to strike for those wonderful dips that happen about once a quarter. That's what the pTGC DAO is doing. Hodling that sweet PLS. Yep, absolutely. All right, boys and girls. So the DAO allows pTGC to be like a ship on the sea, not a train on the track. The ship on the sea can go, it can swerve, it can circumnavigate, it can go around, it can do U-turn. That's the nautical term for a U-turn. But a train can only go forward and backward. That is your standard token. That's your standard token. pTGC, we can strike when the iron's hot. We're not just stuck on a track. There you go. Smash that like and subscribe. I would say, I think what you were probably getting to, Spectre, was when price goes down, you're driving. Be careful, Crypto Jack. When price goes down, more tokens. I appreciate you listening, dude. Yeah, when price goes down, more tokens. And when price goes back up, oh, you got more tokens that are worth more. We've got to illustrate that, man, in a chart. We've just got to do that. Okay, we talked about the bots. It's time for the DApp. It's time for the DApp. Let's go. Oh, 1 second, guys. Yay. All right. Going to the DApp. I just got a message from about my book. Lady's been taking her sweet time. I can tell you what. Making for an unhappy prairie banana. More tokens for us when price go down. We've been stacking up a lot of tokens, guys. Yeah. And when we get our 10, 50, 100x, we're going to be whistling Dixie. All right. You guys want to see what it takes to be in the top 100? Because I just happen to have it pulled up. You got to have, I think yesterday I said, you got to have 222 million tokens to be in the top 100. Actually, this bottom wallet is always way too much. It's almost like should be. This one here, I think, is actually the real, because I doubt that there's actually 80. Though there could be, I guess. Look at all the guys at 400. I mean, there's a lot of guys at 400. You know, this This chart distribution it used to look a lot different, guys. It used to look a lot different. I'm going to tell you what, man. Used to look a lot different. Wow. I wish I'd taken screenshots or something. Just amazing. Just amazing. The token distribution, the people that have been washed out. It has really been wonderful for guys like you and I that have just been hodling and stacking. We're moving up, moving on up. I think I have a little Negro in me. I don't think I do. I do not. I don't think I do. I'm pure white boy. All right. Let's go to the staking. Okay. So you can do 3 things with pTGC. You can hold it, stake it, and lock it. We're going to talk about all 3 in order. The first one's real easy. You buy the tokens and you hold them. Now, your reflections that you earn for holding will come to your wallet. I'm glad you're laughing, John. Will come to your wallet in a spooky alien tech sort of way. You do not need to trigger anything. You don't need to, interact with any contract. They just come to your wallet and they begin earning reflections also. So it's like automatic compound interest every time you earn reflections. Staking is the second thing you can do. Staking, you need to do a contract interaction to start a stake and also to claim your tokens that you earn for staking. And when you claim your tokens from staking, they will go to your wallet and begin earning reflections. Same thing with locking. With locking, the tokens need to be staked first. You lock them, you earn rewards. You can claim those rewards, which will go to your wallet and begin earning reflections. And they'll still be earning staking rewards. No, wait a second. I said that wrong. Your rewards from staking and locking go to your wallet and begin earning reflections, but you can then stake them and you can subsequently lock them also. Okay. Yeah, that's how it works. Let's have a look at it on the DApp. That's definitely how it works. Just don't hold me to it. Not financial advice and all that good stuff. I have been known to be wrong, but I am fairly certain on that one. But you can let me know. You guys can let me know if I'm wrong in anything. Open door policy over here at the Prairie Bananas office. Okay, where you go is pulsetgc.com. Go to pulsetgc.com. I'm pretty sure I had that in a hot button. I am going to have to tune up this presentation for when we get hot again. Because, guys, when we get hot, I'm going to need you guys to be in here helping me answer questions. Because back in March, February, when we got hot back then, there was one Sunday where I could barely keep up. So I'm going to need you guys to rally when things get going. I know I can count on you guys, but I just want to say it out loud. Back to the DApp. So you're like, okay, holding is easy. Well, as you hold, you will see you'll see your rewards from holding right here. Select stake pTGC. And that would be, this is your earning from holding 6,000 tokens. And you can see it also up here. Like this is the lifetime total for this wallet. And then if you want to stake those tokens, again, hit stake TGC and you can stake 100%. You can stake whatever you want. There is no time commitment for staking. There's no time commitment. And you can claim your rewards at any time. You can claim them every day. I don't recommend doing it more than once per week. Once per week is about optimal. I'm not even kidding. You go longer, Spectre, you're right on top, man. on time. How often do I do it? Well, ever since Mando says he does it every week, I've been doing it every week. Because I'm not letting this stinker earn more tokens than me. So I'm claiming mine once a week. I usually do it Monday morning. And what do I do with them? Even at this point in the cycle, I'm staking them because the ROI time because I'm getting ahead of myself, but if you want to end your stake, you get to pay 1% that goes to all the other stakers, 1% of your principal. And that's a bummer. So you're like, well, I'm going to ROI at some point, right? Yeah. After about maybe 100 to 200 days in a sideways market. That's what I estimate. And I could be wrong on that. Do your own estimation. But what I do know is that the more price goes up and the more volume we have, the sooner I'm going to ROI on my 1%. So why am I still staking this close to a potential upcycle? It's because I'm anticipating a lot of volume and price appreciation. And I want to leverage all of that. I want every single pTGC token that I can reasonably acquire. That means staking and even locking. I mean, at this point in the cycle, the only thing is we got less than 90 days to the end of the year because I got a lock that ends at the end of the year. I have a 90-day lock that ends at the end of November, but I'm just going to leave it. So the locking is really sweet because the stakes you saw, there's no time frame. The locking, there is a time frame, but you can let it go past the time frame. No harm, no foul. You earn staking rewards, you earn your locking rewards, your reflections, all of it when you lock. And you can lock for 90 days and just let her cook. And I've done a lot of that. Instead of transferring tokens here and there, selling and buying and getting wrecked, put them in a 9-day lock and they're earning. They're like a little machine. They're like a little miner creating me more pTGC. And we'll talk about the locks here in a second. Would it benefit me better if I do it once a week? You do it once in a blue moon? Okay, I was doing that, dude. Do it once a week if you can. Once a month minimum. Once a week is better. And I need to make an illustration for that. I made one I have one in my slide deck. I think it does show the difference between between scraping or, collecting your yield once a week versus once a month. I'm pretty sure it does. I would do it once a week, man. Like if you did it once a day, way too much. You would be shocked how little you earn by compounding once a day, and how much more you gain by, well, less, whatever. Once a week seems to be the optimal. Do your own research. Pop all this into ChatGPT and just ask it. If I have 1,000 pTGC, if I have 1 million pTGC and I'm earning 100 a day, should I compound every week? What would be the optimal schedule? Something like that. And it'll tell you. That's how I did it. That's how I found out compounding every day was really dumb. And going a month is not really dumb, but it's getting there. So, all right. So you hold your pTGC and you're thinking about locking. Not everybody locks. It's okay. There's a chart. If you want to go look at the stats, you can see how many people lock and how many people don't. If you do lock, you're going to earn about 160% more reward tokens than just for holding. So there is that. If you want to lock, let's go back to staking. Okay. In order to claim your tokens, hit this button right here and you'll do it. It's a contract interaction and it'll send all of these staking reward tokens to your wallet and they'll immediately begin earning reflections. If you want to end your stake, click the withdraw button. Withdraw, you're going to pay 1% of, make sure you claim your tokens first, but then withdraw and you will pay 1% principal that's going to go to all the other stakers. Thank you very much. So just be aware of that. Now, if you do want to lock, and we're going to spend a little bit of time on locking. If you want to lock, your tokens need to be staked first, and then you'll come down here and click the lock button. Oh, by the way, one stake per wallet, multiple locks, like numerous locks if you want. If you want to lock, you got to select the however many staked pTGC you want to lock and for how long. Okay. And all of my pTGC is already staked in this wallet. So let's see. And then you can have multiple locks. Like this wallet only has one lock. This is an experiment, okay, that I started last year. Okay. So that is holding, staking, locking. Now there are some big differences between, and we got to get into the lock-in ladder. Let me get to the lock-in ladder first, because it's pretty cool. And you got to understand, you got to see this so you can know the different locking tiers. You can lock out to, from anywhere from 90 days out to 10 years, and you get paid differently. Okay, so here it is. 90-day lockers earn 55%. So those rewards sitting in my wallet that you see right here. Now this is a 10-year lock right here. It's 10 years. Now, if this were a 90-day lock, then when I claim these tokens right here, because a 90-day lock keeps 55% of the rewards, 55% would go to my wallet and 45% would go to the burn address. Give me 1 second, guys. I got to close this door. There's some noise going on. Okay, good. So here's the lock-in tiers. 90 days, you keep 55%. 5 years, you're going to keep 80%. 9 to 10 years, going to keep 100%. 100% if you lock 10 years. Okay, now there's a couple things that you might want to be aware of about locking. One, here's the big one. Think twice before locking up a big old bag. Perhaps you may want to lock it up into smaller bags because you might be tempted to unlock, we call it emergency end lock. I need access to the liquidity or whatever happens in life, and life does happen. Wouldn't you rather unlock a 10 million pTGC bag versus a 100 million pTGC bag because you're going to pay 30% to all the other lockers? That's how it works. That's a heavy penalty. Heavy. So multiple locks is my modus operandum. And what I've done is I built a locking. I did it 3 different ways. 90-day locks that have since matured. 90-day locks, and those are that's my profit for this cycle, for life-changing gains, hopefully. And then I did a locking ladder. My first one is going to mature at the end of this year. The locking ladder from 1 year all the way out to 9. And then my 10-year locks, which are 1 day into the next higher tier. And that's how you can do it. You can earn from the next higher tier by locking in, just maybe 7 days into that tier. And you can earn from it. That's the wisest way to do it. I guess. Those are the 2 home run things that you can do for locking. Don't do a big old bag and then 1 day in the next higher tier. Yeah, I think that's about it. Now, there are some huge difference. There is one huge difference between locking. My brain. Every time I stream, I get ideas. You know why that is? Because my brain is engaged. I'm going 100 miles an hour right now. Once I'm not streaming, I'm relaxed. I'm your brain just doesn't, it goes into a different mode when you're not in front of people. I'm telling you. I know what I'm talking about because I'm experiencing it. So, well, I'm gonna let that idea go, and if it's a good enough idea, it'll come back, and I'll write it down. So, big difference between holding and staking rewards and locking rewards. Okay, holding and staking, locking. Holding and staking rewards come to you based on the volume of the network today. Okay, so if the volume, let's say you earn $100 for $100,000 of volume, then at $10 million in volume, you're going to earn, what would that be? 1,000? I think that'd be $10,000. No. Well, whatever. I think that actually is right. $100,000 in volume earns you $100. Okay. So if we have $100,000 in volume for the next year, $100 a day. Okay. That's great. That's for holding and staking rewards. Your locking rewards are very different. Your locking rewards don't come into your wallet based on the AMM bots, sending rewards to everybody's wallets. It's not like that. The locking rewards are dependent on you and me. Emergency end locking locks. And if we don't have anybody unlocking locks, then we don't get any rewards. But I don't know that there has been a month go by that we haven't had somebody unlocking a pTGC lock. Some months it's more, some months it's less. Like last year, the average was 395 million. I think the average for this year is, we can do another field trip. The average is about, hold on, I can find it for us. Oh, here we go. Hold on. I'll show it. I'll share my screen. I got to move this. Okay. What is going on here? This thing's got to move. Okay. So I just got this data the other day. Watch this. That's how much was unlocked in October, 294 million. So it was a pretty high month. But if you go back to January, when I started taking records, we've unlocked 3 billion, an average of 300 million per month. So we're down. The average is down for the year. We speculate that as number goes up, people are going to be unlocking way more. That's what I think. Okay. Like 9 years and 7 days for a 10-year lock, Spectre. Yes. That would be a safe way to do it. I literally did it. Like I restructured all my locks last December 31st or whatever. And I literally made it 9 years in 1 day. And afterwards, somebody was like, yeah, you might have want to gone out a week just to be safe. And I was like, uh-oh. and I checked and I was like, I think I did okay, but I'm still a little nervous about it. Oh, well, live and learn. pTGC should do a bridge from BaseChain to PulseChain, bring all the money back and get their volume. Yeah, let's get their volume, man. Let's just make our own volume. Yeah, from BaseChain. Good suggestion. Take it up with the devs. I don't know how to do all that stuff. I'm just a user like you guys, honestly. Okay, we talked about that. Oh, we didn't finish talking about the difference between staking rewards and locking rewards. Okay, and the reflections. Big difference, guys. Big. Why? Because you earn $100 on $100,000 volume. Yay! Okay. Well, it doesn't matter if the price goes up. You're still going to earn $100 on $100,000 volume. It's still yay. But what about those lock-in rewards? Those 300 million tokens that have been unlocked on average since January. What if you earned like Well, we all, if you're a locker, you're going to earn a percentage of those. Let's say you're not earning $100, but you're earning 100,000 tokens on those lock-in rewards, because that's how it works. Reflections and staking rewards are based on volume, based on price. So you're going to get your $100. Lock-in rewards are based on tokens. So you're going to get your 100,000 tokens no matter what. So let's say by January, the price is up. Let's just say it ain't going to happen, but let's hope it does. It ain't going to happen, but it's impossible, right? Where's Shaq O'Neal when I needed him? In January, it's $1. It's just I like round numbers, okay? Let's say we're $1 in January, and you're getting your 100,000 tokens, 100,000 lock-in tokens that were worth, $10 back in November, where we are, and now they're worth $100,000. Well, the reason for that is because the lock-in rewards are based on tokens, not the value. You guys get that? Good question, William Dugan. I reached out to them last week, and I don't think I heard back. Give me a second, dude. This is he asked, is Liberty Swap going to support pTGC? They have said that they will. I have not. Hold on a second. They saw my message. I was like, good day. Good day. Our users are asking when perhaps your fabulous platform will support fee-based tokens. Thanks. I didn't hear back. But back on October 1st, he says, I asked him about the same thing, and he says, we are fully prepared to support tax tokens at any time. To proceed, we would need to pause our contract, replace it completely, and migrate the LP to a new contract. This process can only be carried out during periods of low trading activity to avoid any disruption to trading in and out of PulseChain. Our code has been ready for some time. So they are ready. The code is ready. They're just waiting for an opportunity to do it. And I believe by faith, Liberty Swap is going to do it. I like Liberty Swap. I think there's something special about them. I get that sense. And so there's my sentiment. It'll happen. But that's your news. That's all I got. Maybe somebody else has some news. I wonder if Kong could do something like that for the bridge. Yeah. Reach out to him. King Kong. We have the best protocol on chain and the most gate kept. Reminds me of Richard Hart. Soon we will be undeniable. pTGC and UFO is inevitable. I don't know that we are gate kept. I think, well, you're right. You're right. You think you said the most gate kept? Sometimes I make a decision, then I think about it and I rethink my decision. You might be right. I have not really sensed that, but I don't get a good sense of everything. So you might be onto something there, William Dugan. Yeah, well, if we're gate kept, it's because pTGC is so innovative that it causes cognitive dissonance. We got to get back on track. I agree. I'm going to agree with you there. But I've been setting up streams with influencers and having good success. I'll just leave it at that. That leaves me optimistic that, I can't just leave it at that. Optimistic that the Hexicans, and I'm a Hexican, the community is turning around for pTGC. And you want to know why? What I suspect is the reason why is because we are still here grinding, educating, onboarding, number go up. That's why people in this community are taking a second look. Like our talk Saturday. No one wants to talk about us, but they, yeah, I remember that. But they know who we are and what we have. Absolutely. Like I've been saying the last week or so, we have been the gorilla in the room. Very soon, God willing, with a successful PulseChain, we will be the King Kong in the city. King Kong. Yo. All right. We talked about that. Let's get over to UFO and then we'll drop back. Yeah. Hex was gate capped until it still did a 10,000X. Yeah, man. I listen to the spaces every Sunday from Saturday because I miss so much. And that was a good one. That was a good one. We're putting some of that stuff in practice, by the way, William Dugan. I'm going to try to get a video together for the Jumbotron tomorrow for the tourists. Yeah. Maybe I'll have a little commercial in the middle of spaces. If you're brand new and you just don't know what this is all about, there's a video in the Jumbotron. Go watch it. It'll tell you all about pTGC and UFO in 3 minutes or less. Yeah. And then they discover Perry Banana's channel, and he's going to have a lot of content on there about pTGC and UFO. At least that is the goal. We got 13 people on YouTube. All right. What's the difference? We're going to skip that. We're going to skip that. Here is UFOs, superpowers, and alien tech. Again, its alien tech is the MM bots. Its superpower is that it has a thick liquidity with pTGC, and it has its shares is a superpower. So what is, we're just going to go straight to the DApp. Straight on up to the DApp. Let me get it pulled up. Man, I hope I have good news from this video editor lady. I mean, my book editor person. Been working on my stinking book cover for over a week. All right, so you're going to go to the same DApp, click on UFO token. Now, if you hold, you can do two things with UFO. You can hold it to earn rewards, and you can LP it to earn staking rewards. LP rewards. And if you want to, holding it's easy. You don't got to do anything. But if you want to earn LP rewards, click on UFO liquidity pools. You can LP any of these pools. I don't recommend LPing UFO pTGC because you will pay the fee for both of those tokens going into the pool and out of the pool. You will pay the UFO fee going out of the PLS pool. You can LP any of these pools and you will earn the same LP rewards. You must LP from this DApp. If you do it directly from PulseX, you will bypass the DApp and therefore you will bypass your rewards. If you want to make an LP, just select Manage Pool, Add Liquidity. It's pretty simple. If you want to remove your liquidity, select Remove Liquidity. Once you select Add Liquidity, you're going to have to add equal sides or equal values of each side, sign it in your wallet, and then you'll have an LP. Now, what I would do is I would go back to here, UFO token, and select UFO PLP rewards and go confirm that you have an LP. And this wallet has one. It's a UFO PLS LP. And notice there's something. Let me give it the chat here. We'll come back. We're going to talk about something very important in the UFO. But let's see what we got going on here. Once I have the money, I'm going to post a video for pTGC and UFO on that big TV in New York City. You go, man. That in Times Square. Have you ever been there? Have you been to Times Square? Then here on YouTube and the rest of social media. I love it. So when you make an LP in UFO, with UFO and an RH ticker, you will be assigned, based on the quantity of UFO that you put into the LP, what is called a share rate. So if you put 1 million UFO into an LP, you will be assigned 1 million UFO shares. Your share rate will not change. You will have 1 million UFO shares forever and ever unless you unpair. If you unpair and you have less than 1 million UFO in that LP, if you wanted to get your shares back, you would have to buy more UFO. That's a bad deal. Let me show you where the UFO shares can be seen right here. This is an experimental wallet with 1 million UFO. Now, if you want to claim your rewards, you can claim here. If you have more than one LP, you can claim them all by selecting here, sign it in your wallet. Your rewards for LPing are in PLS. Your rewards for holding are in UFO. By the way, this wallet has earned nearly 50,000 UFO since May of 2024. And it's 1 million UFO. 1 million UFO liquid has earned 50,000 UFO in almost 2 years. That's some pretty good ROI, I'd say. Any questions? Class, is there any questions? That's it. That's UFO. Yo, how about that? That was fast, man. You know what? We're going to skip the moon math today. We're going to skip it. I'll just tell you, if you want to see moon math, ask about it on Spaces tomorrow. Or ask about it in this stream next week. But I'll give you the moon math formula. Whatever we can do up against PulseChain, pTGC, let's say, then we've done, in the last year, we've done 6x against PulseChain times whatever you think Pulse can do times the price. So if you think we can do 10x against Pulse and Pulse does 100x, that's 10 100, which is 1,000 times the price. And that would be your end price for pTGC and for UFO, whatever you think UFO can do against Pulse. So that's your formula. I always like to keep it under 2 hours. One day I will have we'll figure it out. It's like I was telling Zen earlier today. In life, oftentimes you got to take action for the next thing to be discovered. So you take a step. It's almost like you lift your foot up and then you realize, oh, I'm putting it down over here. But you never would have realized where you're going to put it down until you lifted it up. So to this Sunday and Wednesday thing that we do with educating the community, the next step of whatever we're going to do is going to be revealed because we're lifting our foot up. We are taking ground every single day in the greatest currencies until we have, gotten there. We're moving on out. John May, it has been a pleasure having you in the chat today. William Dugan, thank you for stopping by. Lance, Spectre, appreciate you guys. Who else? Crypto Jack, hope you didn't wreck driving down the road. Crypto Shark, Brock Mahoney. Appreciate all you guys coming in. Josh, NJ Dub, Manitoxish. I like that one. Extra PulseX. I think he fell asleep. Yeah, just giving you all Shaka vibes. I'll give you guys a hard time. You probably need it. The problem is you guys can't give me a hard time back unless you're going to type it. You guys can do that. I mean, do it, man. I need a hard time too. Somebody give me a hard time, would you? Guys, have a great day. It's been fun. Hodl your bags. Be there. You guys are already here. I don't got to tell you guys to be on Spaces and all that stuff. We're going to crush it this cycle. We just need Bitcoin to move and PulseChain. You're the best banana, best worker in the room. Thank you, William. I appreciate that. It's the Lord. It's all him. All credit goes to him. John May. All right, guys. Appreciate you. Have a good week. We'll do this again next Sunday. And by the way, when we pick up speed, I will pick up my speed and I'll be doing my presentation midweek for new people because I love onboarding the new people. But until then, I'm taking that time, that 2 hours of precious time, and I'm working on reaching out to those new people on YouTube. And we're going to get them over into the grays. That is the goal. Appreciate you guys. Full moon. Yeah, that's right, William. Appreciate you, man. All right, guys. Have a good week. We'll see you later.